Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for today's NFL playoff games. For the divisional round, we have the Sunday games that we're going to be breaking down in this video. So we have 2 games Sunday, we had 2 games Saturday. The games on Sunday, we got Eagles, Rams, and then we got Bills and Ravens. So it's a 2-game slate. I'm going to give you guys 2 props that I like from today's games. We're going to break down a prop that I do like from each game. And before we do talk through these plays, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they help you out, make sure to hit that like button down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel and if you are new to Prizepicks, be sure to sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH when you do. And when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first lineup, you'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. And this is a great time to sign up for Prizepicks because they do have some promos they're running right now. They have a college football free square. So the college football championship game is on Monday, and there's a free square. Will Howard's pass yards is set at 0.5. This is a free pick Prizepicks is giving you, and this is available for everyone, new users and existing users. So if you don't have an account on Prizepicks right now, this is definitely an incentive to sign up. Take advantage of this free square. You don't have to play this with college football props. You can take this free square and then play it with props from the NFL games today. So definitely go check out Prizepicks, guys. And again, make sure to use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up. And I do also want to shout out Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You guys can sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over there. And when you play your first $5 lineup, you'll get $55 worth of free lineups. Cool promo that Sleeper's doing for new users. This replaces their 100% deposit match bonus that they used to do. And that was a promo that would entice you to deposit more money because the more money you put in, the bigger deposit bonus you would get. Well, now with this promo, you can put in the minimum amount on Sleeper, which is $10. Deposit $10 and still get $55 worth of free lineups. So definitely check out Sleeper. If you guys have not yet, use that promo code NOAH when you sign up. And Sleeper also has a free square for the college football playoff games, and this is available for everyone. So it's available for new users and existing users. They have a free square for the college football championship, I should say, which again is on Monday. Take this free square, play it with props from today's NFL games, play it with whatever you want to, but definitely take advantage of these promos. Anytime these sites do these promos, giving out free squares, discounts, you want to be playing these. These are good ways to build a bankroll, to make some money. So if you guys don't have an account over on Sleeper, sign up, use that code NOAH, take advantage of all the discounts, promotions that Sleeper does throughout the week, while also getting $55 worth of free lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. But we got 2 picks to talk about for today's NFL games. Now, I do want to recap our plays from Saturday's games. So Saturday was not a good day for us, unfortunately. The first pick that we gave out was DeAndre Hopkins over 7 fantasy points, and that was probably one of the worst picks I've ever given out. Hopkins, I watched a lot of the game. He was not on the field much at all. Like, he was barely on the field. I think he got targeted 1 time the entire game, maybe 2 times. Didn't have a single catch, didn't have any fantasy points. I'll take the L because that was a terrible pick on my part. I definitely should have looked more into Hopkins' role. He did not have nearly the role that I thought he would. He was not on the field much at all, and I figured with such a long layoff, so much rest, Hopkins would be much more involved, but that just wasn't the case. The other play that we gave out was Terry McLaurin over 5.5 receptions. I'm recording this video during halftime of that Commanders game. At halftime, McLaurin has 3 receptions, so we'll see if he goes over. It really won't matter anyway since Hopkins missed, but we got 2 more plays to talk about for Sunday, guys. We'll see if we can bounce back here on these games for Sunday. So both the props that I do like for Sunday's games are going to be fantasy scores. And the first prop that I'm liking in the Eagles-Rams game, we're going to take Matthew Stafford for less than 15.5 fantasy scores. So this is a game that I think definitely has potential to be pretty low scoring. If you look at the weather in this Rams-Eagles game, it's expected to be snowing in this game. Looks like it's going to be a snow game. Extent of the snow isn't set in stone. I'm reading the weather report from Roto-Grinders, but they do think that they will see snow in game, likely enough of it to stick around. Winds stay manageable, 5 to 10 miles per hour, with gusts up to 15 to 20. But the weather in this game is not expected to be great, and the total in this game is down to 42, and I want to say the total has dropped since it opened, and that's one way to really tell if weather is going to have an impact on a game is the total. Yeah, this game opened with a 45.5 total, and it's already gone down 3 points, down to 42. So it looks like this game is expected to be lower scoring. You can look at Stafford's props for this game. His pass yards prop is only set at 214.5, which is fairly low. His 1.5 touchdowns prop, passing touchdowns prop, is a goblin, it's a demon, which means it's not as likely to happen on DraftKings. I think Stafford is minus 185, favored to go under 1.5 touchdowns. And in order for Stafford to get 15.5 fantasy points, he's almost going to have to throw 2 touchdowns. There has only been one game this season where Stafford went over this fantasy point line, only throwing 1 touchdown, and it was his first game of the season against the Lions. He threw for 317 yards and 1 touchdown and did go over this fantasy point line. But every other game this season, Stafford he's had to throw 2 touchdowns to get 15.5 fantasy points. And mostly that's because Stafford just doesn't give you any rushing upside. He's very, very, very unlikely to get a rushing touchdown unless they do like a quarterback sneak at the goal line, but that's pretty unlikely to happen. So just given that Stafford's a heavy dog to not throw 2 touchdowns here, I like this under a 15.5 fantasy points because I think he's almost going to have to throw 2 touchdowns to go over this line. The only way that he would be able to go over this line without throwing 2 touchdowns is if he throws for like 300 yards, which obviously that would be well over his projection, and it seems unlikely with the weather here that Stafford would have that type of game. This is also a really tough matchup. The Eagles have been a very good defense this year, especially against the pass. They're giving up the 5th fewest fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. Stafford has historically had worse numbers on the road as well. He's had a history. He played with the Lions, who play in a dome. He's played with the Rams, who also play in a dome. Stafford, he's not a guy that typically plays well on the road in hostile conditions, especially in frigid conditions like it's going to be in Philadelphia on Sunday. So I think this is a really tough spot for the Rams offense. I think they're probably going to struggle to move the ball down the field here. I think Stafford's going to need to run really good on touchdowns in order to go over this fantasy score line. And given that he's a pretty heavy favorite to not throw 2 touchdowns here, I'll bet on him doing that. By doing that, I'm going to take less than 15.5 fantasy score. So that's the first prop I like for Sunday. And then the other prop that I like in the Ravens and Bills game, we're going to take Mark Andrews for more than 9.5 fantasy score. So Mark Andrews did have a down game last week against Pittsburgh. Only 5.2 fantasy points. Only had 2 catches in that game. 2 catches for 27 yards, and then I think he did get like a couple sneaks, so he got a couple rushing yards. But prior to that game, Mark Andrews was on a tear. He was also on a touchdown tear. He had scored 7 straight touchdowns. He had scored 6 straight touchdowns, like 6 games straight with a touchdown prior to last game. I think we could definitely see that streak, come back here, and I think we could see Andrews get into the end zone. I expect Andrews to see plenty of volume in this spot, though, because once again, the Ravens are expected to be without Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is doubtful, so he's not expected to play. Now, sure, Zay Flowers was out last week, but last week was also a game where Lamar Jackson did not throw the ball much at all. He only had 21 pass attempts last week. This definitely feels like a spot where the Ravens are probably going to be forced to throw a bit more. They're going to be going into Buffalo facing a Bills offense that we know can put up points. They are favored in this game, but not by much, only by 1 point. And this game does have a really high total, 51.5 total. So this is definitely expected to be a higher scoring game. Between the 2 games on Sunday, this is expected to be the higher scoring game. And Mark Andrews, he's one of Lamar's top targets. Now I know Andrews' target share this year has not been nearly as high as it has been in previous seasons. But as of late, we've started to see the targets kind of come back for Andrews. 7, 6, 8 target games just over like his last few games. Now, sure, he's only had some games in there where he's gotten a couple targets, but Andrews is so heavily utilized around the red zone and near the goal line that he always has a ton of touchdown equity with how they use him, in the red zone. And again, there's been games where he's only caught like 2 passes lately, and he's still been able to go over this fantasy score line because he's been able to score touchdowns. Do we need Andrews to score a touchdown to go over this line? Absolutely not. Like, he could get 5 catches for 50 yards, and that would be 10 fantasy points. And that's definitely doable here. I mean, you look at his prop lines for this game. His receptions prop is set at 4 on Prizepicks. Let's see. Yeah, his receptions prop is set at 4. His receiving yards is set at 41.5. So there's definitely scenarios where Andrews doesn't get into the end zone but still goes over 9.5 fantasy score. And if he does score a touchdown, I think he's very likely to go over 9.5 fantasy score. The matchup against the Bills, I would say, is kind of middling. Like the Bills this year, if you look at where they rank against tight ends, they've just kind of been middle of the pack. Don't think it's a great matchup. Don't think it's a terrible matchup. But I'm definitely expecting more pass volume for the Ravens here in a game where they're probably going to be forced to throw a little bit more. That wasn't the case last week. Last week, Lamar only had 21 pass attempts, but this week his pass attempts line is set at 27.5. So the sports books, they're expecting more pass attempts here for Lamar. And if Lamar's going to be throwing more, I would expect that to be be a good thing for Mark Andrews, who's probably going to be one of his top targets here, especially with Zay Flowers out. So those are going to be the two props, guys, that we roll with for the Sunday divisional round NFL games. Matthew Stafford, we're taking him for under 15.5 fantasy score in the Rams-Eagles game. And then we're taking Mark Andrews over 9.5 fantasy score in the Bills and Ravens game. So hopefully we can bounce back here. Not looking like a good Saturday so far in the NFL streets, but we'll see if we can bounce back with these two plays for the Sunday games. And as always, guys, we're going to have more NFL plays next week for the conference championships and then for the Super Bowl as well. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. We upload a ton of content on this channel, or I upload a ton of content on this channel. NFL, NBA, I do MLB content as well, and college football. I will have a college football video for the championship game on Monday, so be on the lookout for that. That video will probably go up the night before. A lot of content goes up on this channel, Prizepicks content, player props, whatever you want to call it. We're giving out plays every day here on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, guys. If you enjoy these videos as well, hit that like button too. And again, if you guys don't have an account on Prizepicks, make sure to sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH when you do. And when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first lineup, you'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. So make sure to check out Prizepicks if you have not yet. But good luck as always, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.